What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you how to identify and recover from a Panda penalty. And the Google Panda update targets sites that have a lot of duplicate or low quality pages. So your first step is to identify whether or not your site actually got hit by Panda, or whether it was another penalty, or whether just traffic dropped off. And the way to do that is to head into your Google Analytics and look at specifically Google traffic, because as you can see here, traffic ebbs and flows naturally over time as you have paid campaigns, as you roll out content marketing efforts. So you really want to drill down and find just Google organic search. And to do that, scroll down here and under search, click on organic, and under primary dimension, click on source, and then click on Google. Okay, now this will show you your Google traffic over time. Now, again, these ebbs and flows are normal, especially depending on your industry. Over the weekend, traffic can drop upwards of 75%. But if you see a massive sudden drop between 1 or 2 days, that could be a Panda penalty, okay? So if you see that sudden traffic drop, the next thing you want to do is head into your Google Webmaster Tools account and click on HTML improvements. All right, now once you're here, what you're trying to do is determine whether or not you have many duplicate pages on your site. And that's very common for e-commerce sites, or depending on what kind of content management system you use, it can automatically create duplicate content. So under title tag, if you see duplicate title tags and you see pages, let's say hundreds or maybe even thousands, depending on your site, that could probably means that there's duplicate content on your site, because if there's a duplicate title tag, likely the content on those pages are also duplicate. So those would be pages that you would want to delete, or no index, no follow, using the Yoast SEO plugin if the site's on WordPress. So let's say you log in and you see this, and maybe this isn't the case. Like here, it's okay to have a couple of duplicate titles. I have 2, so it's no big deal. What's your next step? Well, your next step is to see how many pages are indexed on your site. And in general, to avoid Panda or to recover from Panda, you want to run a nice lean site with not a lot of extra pages, okay? Because it's those extra pages that tend to be thin or duplicate that can get you into trouble. So to check that, put site : with no spaces, your domain name, okay? And see how many pages come up. You can see in the case of Backlinko, there's only 42 pages, okay? And depending on your site, it's okay to have thousands of pages. But if you run a WordPress blog or a smaller site and you see that there's like thousands of pages, that could be a red flag that maybe some of those pages are low quality or thin or duplicate. And I'll show you what I mean. So this is way back in the keyword competition session of this video series. We looked at this site, right? And it has a lot of pages, as you can see. It has 14 million pages. So that's a huge red flag that there could be a problem. Now, obviously, if you actually look, there probably aren't that many pages that are really indexed. It's just an estimate. But it's a lot of pages. So if you see an absurdly high number like this, that's usually a problem. So once you've identified that maybe you have too many pages on your site, you need to find pages that are thin or duplicate. So for example, on this page, this is a Bridgestone tire page for this Acopia EP100. But as you can see, this is actually pretty good for an e-commerce site content, right? They have a nice little unique product description that describes a product. They have some sizes, some specs, survey information about how good the tire is, reviews for the tire from actual customers, tests of this particular tire. So in this case, this would be a page that you'd want to keep, okay? So this is the type of page that is good, right? Because it has unique content that actually provides value. So if you're seeing pages like this, that's not what you have to worry about. So I'll show you exactly what I mean in terms of what you should worry about. And I went to this site, cararticle.net, that I randomly found. And let's look at how many pages are indexed in this site. 1,600, okay? Now, if you're like an individual running a site, I find it's very unlikely that you're able to produce that many pages of quality content. It's definitely possible, but it's not likely. So if you run a blog or a small, online presence for your brick and mortar business and you have a blog on there, it's not likely that you're going to have 1,600 pages that are user friendly, okay? And that's, like I said, that's the first thing you want to look at. And sure enough, these are the pages that you really want to delete right away, or no index, no follow-up. So this is an archived area. So this is a huge problem for Penguin. Pages that are archived pages, author pages, category pages, because what that is, it's kind of a double whammy, right? So with Panda, they really want to not show people thin pages, right? And this is a very thin page, right? It's only about 50 or 60 words of content. And it's also duplicate content because it's pulling content from this article, car interior cleaning tips. Okay, so these are the first things that you want to delete. Any sort of snippet pages like this should go right away. And here's another example of an archive page that you'd want to get rid of. Okay, so I think you get the idea. Any page that only has, let's say, 20 or 30 words on it, you can just delete it or combine it with another page, make one big resource page. So you don't want a site with thousands of pages that have thin content. You want a smaller, tight site with a few pages of great content. But finally, there is the issue of quality, and it's obviously very subjective, but Panda has somehow been able to flesh out what is quality content and what's not. So while you're doing your audit and you're getting rid of these obviously bad Panda, bad user experience pages like snippet pages, duplicate content pages, or thin pages, you should also try to figure out what pages aren't really providing value to your users, like this page right here, how to keep birds from pooping on your car. All right, now no one is gonna find value in this page, right? I mean, maybe, but it's just ridiculous. So these are the type of pages that you think, okay, maybe a certain percentage of users would find this helpful, but a small amount. And this is the type of page that Google is targeting, that is just kind of a nonsense page. It doesn't provide any value. It's probably just to try to rank for this ridiculous long tail keyword. That's making up the majority of pages on your site. I recommend deleting them, improving them, or combining them into one massive great resource. So that's all there is to recovering from Panda. It does take a lot of time to audit an entire site and find these thin pages or low quality pages. But when you do that, you can usually bounce back within a month or so when the next Panda refresh happens. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.